The story begins by showing the bad guys group in a stormy night, led by Mr. Wolf, always cunning, tries to scare his friends by telling them a chilling tale. He speaks of a villain even more feared than them, a legendary vulture named Reginald Scary. This vulture was notorious for his grand thefts, but his most treasured possession was the half-moon amulet, an object that caused wars and chaos. After getting that amulet, Reginald became so paranoid about losing the amulet that he locked himself in his mansion, where his obsession eventually led him to his doom, and his soul, according to the legend, was condemned to roam the earth forever. As Mr. Wolf recounted the story, his friends were terrified, so when he suggested that their next Halloween prank should take place at Reginald's mansion, they immediately refuse, as everyone remembers how every Halloween, Mr. Wolf would trick them with terrifying pranks, making them believe they would pull off daring stunts, but they always ended up being scared instead. This time they weren't falling for it. They would rather hand out candy to kids than enter that cursed mansion. However, Mr. Wolf swears that this time it isn't a joke. Despite their doubts and fears, his friends reluctantly agree. As they arrive at the mansion, their fear grows with each step. The doors creak open on their own, lightning cracked across the sky, and the entire atmosphere was thick with a sense of danger. Trembling they step inside, but Mr. Wolf tries to calm them down. The house was dark, without internet, echoes bounce off the walls, and cobwebs hung from every corner. Despite their fear they start exploring. At one point Mr. Wolf turns on the lights, but suddenly a piano begins playing on its own, and strange noises echo through the house. The group was ready to flee, but Mr. Wolf reminded them that they are thieves, not cowards, and they can't let their fear win. Then a secret door opens behind a bookshelf, the lights flickers, and a strange noise grows closer, and out of nowhere, a suit of armor charges at them, but Mr. Wolf, using his agility, manages to stop it. However, it was just an empty trap. As they venture deeper, they discover a hidden room containing the half-moon amulet. They quickly take it and prepare to leave, but as they do, a dense fog fills the mansion and another suit of armor appears. Mr. Wolf, ever the prankster, had set up this final scare to terrify his friends. When they return home, his friends were furious with him for playing yet another prank, but Mr. Wolf tries to calm them by reminding them that they had successfully stolen the amulet. However, strange things start to happen. Mr. Wolf begins hearing mysterious noises, becoming more paranoid with each passing day. He couldn't focus on his next heist. The nightmares about Reginald Scary's mansion haunts him. Then his friends inform him that Mr. Piranha has gone missing, and all they find was a feather in the house. With no choice left, they decide to return to the cursed mansion to save him. When they arrive, things has worsened. Objects float through the air, and the suits of armor attack again. After a joint effort, they disable another trap, but the ghost of Mr. Piranha appears. Furious at Mr. Wolf for getting him killed, the group panic as the portrait of Reginald Scary was missing from its place, heightening Mr. Wolf's fear that the curse was real. Determined to set things right, Mr. Wolf decides to return the amulet, but when he does, Reginald Scary himself appears. The vulture accuses Mr. Wolf of disrespecting his legend and breaking his oath, condemning him to suffer the consequences. Suddenly the mansion's walls gets filled with the ghosts of his friends, who surround him, telling him that he will be left alone and destroyed. Mr. Wolf, terrified and in disbelief, was ready to accept his fate. However, everything vanished in an instant. His friends appear laughing hysterically. It has all been an elaborate prank. To get back at him for his endless jokes, they have rigged the house with holograms and sound effects, driving Mr. Wolf to the brink of madness. Though he pretended to be angry, Mr. Wolf secretly admires their cleverness, but unable to resist, he plays one final joke by putting on the amulet and pretending to disintegrate, scaring everyone again. In the end, Mr. Wolf proves that he is still the master of pranks, leaving his friends frustrated but impressed. Despite their frustration, they acknowledge that Mr. Wolf would always be the king of tricks, and with this story comes to an end.